So familial hypercholesterolemia, I call it really a family affair, because here there are two types, as we know, heterozygous and homozygous. Let me put my case here. MK, she was a Muslim 60-year-old girl, presented with chest pain. This was a case of 2004, which we have published. ECG showed global ST segment depression. Troponin was positive. Her weight was barely 33 kg. She was 16 years old. She was treated as ACS, but had refractory angina, 2 days, multiple episodes. Finally, coronary angiogram showed 80% ostial lap vein, 95% ostial dominant RCA, and long diffuse disease in circumflex. 2D echo showed normal ejection fraction, but grade 3 ischemic mitral regurgitation. Ascending aorta had narrowed due to atheroma there, causing a supravalvular ridge. Her total cholesterol was 486 and LDL was 418. This was 2004, where PCSK9 were not available. Finally, a heroic surgery was done by Dr. Kaushal Pandey with Lima to LAD and venous grafts to OM and distal RCA. He did a mitral wall repair with a 24 millimeter reading, and he did ascending aortic end arterectomy. This was published, this case was published as one of the youngest persons undergoing coronary artery bypass surgery in the country. She, despite 3 months post-op on atorvastatin 40 and ezetimibe, she could get down her LDL only to 260. There was nothing else available, no PCSK9. She could never get LDL below 200 really, and finally died 6 years later because of stroke. So familial hypercholesterolemia is an inherited autosomal codominant disease. I call it codominant because the dominant disease is common, but recessive disease is also present in a minority. So it's a codominant disease. Heterozygous has one abnormal gene. Homozygous have two abnormal genes. And the mutations, common mutation is in LDL receptor, less common in ApoB lipoprotein, which binds the LDL receptor to the LDL, and PCSK9 protein, which binds the LDL receptor along with the LDL and causes imbibition of that entire complex inside the hepatocyte. Whatever the mutation, whether it's LDL, ApoB or PCSK9, there is a lifelong elevation of LDL with premature atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. That is the hallmark of familial hypercholesterolemia. If you look at adult animals and newborn humans, we have 100% LDL receptors available, and the LDL is at its lowest. When we have typical polygenic dyslipidemia, which we commonly see in clinical practice, we have approximately 70% of the LDL receptors available, and our LDL goes around 130 to 170 at times. In familial heterozygous dyslipidemia, the LDL receptors are close to 25% available, and the LDL goes to close to around 250 to 400 milligram percent. And in homozygotes, there is no practical LDL receptor available, and the LDL levels are astronomically high, ranging from 550 milligrams to as high as 1000 milligram percent of LDL. Prevalence has increased recently in a Copenhagen General Population Study. 1 in 150 people have heterozygous, and 1 in 160,000 people have homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia. Unfortunately, we have not taken into account the overlap of these two situations. The homozygous starts from an LDL level of around 500 to as high as 1200 milligram percent. And when the LDL is more than 500, there's no doubt we are dealing with homozygous variety of familial hypercholesterolemia. But with heterozygous variety, there is an overlap between common polygenic hypercholesterolemia, homozygous ApoB variety of hypercholesterolemia, and PCSK9 gain of function mutation. So these three, we have published our own paper in PCSK9 gain of function mutations 6 years ago from our own hospital, around 400 patients coming for a health checkup. And that is not a very uncommon entity at all, in fact. So they overlap with heterozygous and common variety. But however, in dominant inheritance, LDL receptor mutation is the commonest, ApoB the next common, and the rarest is PCSK9 gain of function mutation. With recessive inheritance, where two alleles are defective, ABCG5 and LDL RAP mutations are common, but very, very rare in Asian Indians. They are common in Caucasians. How to diagnose FH? Well, we recommend screening of family hypercholesterolemia in children, adults, and families. If a family member presents with familial hypercholesterolemia, if your cholesterol in adult, the LDL cholesterol is more than 310, or in child it is more than 230, premature coronary heart disease, tendon xanthomas, or premature cardiac death. And the only criteria which are now approved by all international guidelines are Dutch criteria, where family history, clinical history, physical examination, and LDL are taken into account. And definite FH is diagnosed when you are more than 8 points, probable between 6 to 8 points, and possible between 3 to 5 points. Less than 3, it is unlikely that you are dealing with familial hypercholesterolemia. Tendon xanthomas are the sine qua non for familial hypercholesterolemia of homozygous nature. With heterozygous, you can get the arcus in the cornea because of cholesterol deposition and xanthelasmas. However, arcus and xanthelasmas are not specific for a familial variety in adult population. They are specific for familial variety only when they occur in an age less than 20 years. But the genetic testing is recommended when you suspect, because then you can do cascade screening. You can identify another family members. And if the genetic testing is positive, you need to start early high intensity statin earlier in life, as early as 9 years of age or even 6 years of age, and treat them to delay the clinical occurrence of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Now this slide is beautiful, really very wonderful slide. On the x-axis, a y-axis here you see cumulative LDL cholesterol deposition in the blood vessels. So the threshold of clinical cardiovascular disease, when you get 150 millimoles of LDL deposited in your arteries, you get clinical cardiovascular disease. And that threshold in a patient who does not have familial hyperlipidemia is reached at the age of 55. Whereas in familial hypercholesterolemia, that threshold is reached homozygous varieties at 12.5 years and heterozygous at around 35 years. Look at here. If you start treating heterozygous familial hyperlipidemia at 9 years with high intensity statin, you delay the clinical onset of cardiovascular disease to almost like normal people up to 55 years. But if you delay their treatment up to 20 years, then you get that threshold at 48 years. And if you don't treat them at all, by 35 years, most of them will have massively established cardiovascular disease. That is, I'm talking of heterozygous. Whereas in homozygous, if you don't treat, by 12.5 years, like the way the girl presented at 13 years with Lethman disease. Another important slide here, when you have equivalent amount of LDL, people who have familial hypercholesterolemia for the same level of LDL have 3 times more preponderance of clinical cardiovascular disease. That means for the same given level of LDL, if you have familial variety of hyperlipidemia, either heterozygous or homozygous, you will have 3 to 5 times more preponderance or prevalence of clinical atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. So when you talk of heterozygous and homozygous, homozygous are rare. They usually present in the first decade of life. They are usually called by LDL receptor mutation and have premature aortic stenosis and common association of hypothyroidism and diabetes. Whereas in heterozygous, they are asymptomatic in childhood and adolescence. They usually present above the age of 25 years, and coronary artery disease occurs usually by 50% by the age of 35. Now let me put one small word on lipoprotein little a. Lipoprotein little a is an LDL particle surrounded by ApoB. But in addition, there is a crescentic layer of ApoA lipoprotein. This ApoA lipoprotein cleaves the ApoB LDL receptor particle into dense particles which are KIV donated particles, and they enter vascular media very easily, causing aggressive atherosclerosis. So detection of LPA, quantifying LPA in familial hyperlipidemia is important. And this slide will show you in FH patients. If you have LPA positive, their atherogenicity is much higher than when they are LPA negative. That difference is not so much with polygenic hypercholesterolemia that we commonly see in adult population. So measuring LPA, lipoprotein little a, is very, very important in patients with FH. How do you treat LDL? Of course, physical activity, alcohol cessation, smoking cessation, and excellent diet is very, very important. But the target for children for FH is 135 milligram percent of LDL. Adult, it is less than 100. And adults with diabetes or established coronary heart disease, it is less than 70. And for Asian Indians, as per our new Lipid Association of India guidelines, it is less than 30 for FH people with known CHD or diabetes. And of course, we have statins, ezetimibe, and if that fails in children,
1 minute left.
Lipoprotein apheresis, yes. Within adults, we can give PCSK9. We know that when you start treating dyslipidemia early, you get much regression in coronary events. And this slide will show you children with FH, when they are started treating at the age of 15 years, you almost have event-free survival till the age of 40 years. But their own parents who were not treated up to the age of 25 years, 25% of them had events by the age of 40 years. So starting treatment early is important. PCSK9 can cause 50% reduction in LDL in adult patients with FH. They are not been approved in children as yet, but statin intolerant children can still be given PCSK9 inhibitors. What is the exciting future? Dr. Dayasagar Rao told you, bempedoic acid, which acts upstream in the chain in hepatocytes, can cause 20% additional reduction in LDL over and above statins, and inclisiran, which causes PCSK mRNA cleavage inside the hepatocyte, as against the PCSK9 antibody, which cleaves or destroys PCSK9 outside the hepatocyte. Inclisiran can cause 50% reduction in LDL, and the beauty is it can be given once in 6 months subcutaneous injection. So it will be extremely patient friendly, and we are all waiting for inclisiran to come to India. In conclusion, diagnosis of FH needs high clinical suspicion. In familial hyperlipidemia, LDL exposure starts before birth. Genetic testing is gold standard, and those positive have higher cardiovascular risk. Number of HH cases getting diagnosed are low, and those getting treated are even lower. Cascade screening is therefore important. So starting therapy earlier on in life gives you the best prognosis. And the drugs available are high intensity statins, ezetimibe, PCSK9, and now inclisiran and bempedoic acid. And those of you who are further interested, these 3 wonderful articles, 1 in Europe, 2 in European Heart, 2014, 2020, and International Journal of Cardiology in 2020 are the most lovely review articles on FH. Thank you for your attention.